For the 37 plus years that Best of Care has been in operation, we had always relied on in-person training, which is certainly, very important and will always have a place here. Specifically, when it comes to certificate-based training and actually, demonstrating some hands-on skill with a, simulated transfer or with a, a training dummy or something like that. But a lot of the training that we are required to do in order to live up to our contractual obligations with the state requires some very specific courses that the aides need to complete every year. And finding a nurse who could come in and deliver this material to a group of aides is a challenge. We have a 24/7 workforce. Our aides are always working. We always have work being delivered 24/7, 365. In fact, we've been doing 24/7 work consistently since 2011. We have been delivering service around the clock. So it's not always easy for our aides and our caregivers to get out of the field and come in to the office to complete their training requirements. So I was connected to Helen from CareAcademy, the CEO and founder of CareAcademy, through a mutual acquaintance of ours, and she and I got to talking. And CareAcademy was looking to expand its own footprint in Massachusetts, and there was a lot of synergy between us, and we thought that it would be a great idea to just test out a pilot. I was in, the mindset of somebody who wanted to just try something new with our aides and give them, just a different opportunity to complete their training and see if it would work. And I think that CareAcademy was very interested to see how that would work with an agency like ours, who is roughly the size and sort of makeup that Best of Care is. And we did our pilot testing from January 2018 through the end of March 2018. We enjoyed those results very much, and we've decided to start utilizing CareAcademy and make them our official training partner. We always got our aides, to complete everything. It just, quite frankly, was a bit more of a grind and required a lot more time and energy from our HR staff to try to hunt down, caregivers to get them to come in and complete a training and coordinate that with a nurse or a trainer. So kind of putting the training in their hands and making it more accessible to them has freed up a lot of time and energy, from our HR staff to focus more on recruitment, which is quite frankly what we need to focus on more. So we don't have people over completing their training requirements if they don't have to. And we've also made sure that the employees at Best of Care are completing only the mandatory stuff first and getting that done so that they are in full compliance with all of our contracts. And then after that, they get to explore, the catalog of course offerings with CareAcademy. And once they complete a class, we get a notification. So we are looking weekly to see who has completed what, and the caregivers are free to go back and review any of the material that they've completed. If they enjoyed a particular class, they can go back and review it. If we don't have to continually sort of, reach out and bug or pester our employees to come in and attend trainings and keep up with their requirements, but instead allow them to do it at their convenience, we think that will, sort of increase. It's almost an employee benefit, as much as it is a requirement for our aides to be compliant with their training. And as important as it is for them to be well trained, giving them this opportunity to do it on their own free time is also a benefit. But more importantly, the speed with which the people got enrolled and then started completing their training was very impressive. In the past, it was not uncommon for a lot of aides to wait until the end of a calendar year to complete their training requirements simply because they didn't have the time to do it. But now a lot of our caregivers are getting enrolled into CareAcademy and taking advantage of their opportunity to complete the trainings on their own free time, and we find that they're completing things much more quickly than they have in the past. The biggest fear that we had was enrollment. We were convinced that there was going to be backlash by a lot of our more experienced and sort of veteran home care workers here who have seen it all, done it all, seen us try it all with them and maybe not follow through on everything that we've ever tried. And so there's always some healthy skepticism, from people when you're rolling something new out. But ultimately, we continue to see more people enroll. And I think that once they get in there and get involved with it, they realize that it's a time saver for them. They're getting the material that they need, and they're doing it in their own way, in their own preference. So the biggest hurdle that we thought we were going to face, we've confronted it, and we're getting past it. There's still some holdouts. There's still some difficulty with getting people enrolled, but for the most part, I feel confident that we're going to get everybody on board. And anybody who we hire on a go-forward basis doesn't know any differently because they've only learned this system. So it's not like they have anything to compare it to, which is helpful. I am, and I think that's evidenced by the completion rates that we've seen. We don't see people who are having a tremendous amount of difficulty or struggle to complete the training. And just in talking to our HR team here, they're not getting a lot of questions or feedback because CareAcademy handles that. So that has been another bonus. One of the things that I made very clear up front with CareAcademy is I'm not looking to handle any percentage of the customer service piece of this relationship, and we have not had to do that. So we've been very grateful for that. In any time that you can keep an aide doing what it is that they do, and quite frankly, what they want to do, because this is their job. They want to go to work and continue to make money. That's what they're doing. So anytime that we can allow our caregivers to do that and not take time out of their day to maybe come into the office to complete a training or educational requirement, we think that that's a win. We're already asking a lot of our staff of their time to travel to and from their clients, to work with challenging clients. The last thing they need is another challenge. So I think that already we're sort of solving this problem. We just continue to work on enrollment and getting more people involved. One thing that I will add specifically is that as you continue to grow geographically like we have, this is also even more important because the further your employees are from any of your office locations, the more challenging and difficult it is for them to drive somewhere and park and do whatever is expected of them. Whereas this really does help you with your expansion because your caregivers are free to complete their training requirements wherever they are.